Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. It's still a very solemn air here in the studio as we've been discussing the state burial of the former president, late Muhammadu Buhari, and how his burial ceremony gives us a lot of lessons. And I think that this lesson, personally for me, extends to all Muslim burial ceremonies that I get to observe, because most Muslims tend to suspend culture in the altar of, like, this is our religion, and it's a very solemn, humbling experience. But seeing a president, like, this is not a former president, you would have felt like they would put a little bit of more ceremony towards the burial ceremony, but it's still kept to the tenets.
Even what you saw also, you know, it's actually the military background that you had. So the extra that I even saw, because if it was what I know, it is as simple as possible. But the other things that you saw was the military, and that's something also that I love about the military, the way that they finally lay their soldiers to rest. Yes. Oh, utmost respect. And then that 21 gun salute. It just makes you feel so proud, because I like that they do that, especially for military personnel, especially as you know, a lot of them make the ultimate sacrifice. It gives you a little bit of, you know, you now appreciate the life that they have lived. You know, we honor them properly in death, and I like that, because we are getting to a point where people don't see death as something that should be honored. We say anything, as we saw, you know, with the passing of this former president. There are lots of things that were said, left, right, and center. Not saying that people are not allowed to express themselves, but really, culturally, the way I know Africans and Nigerians, that we honor the dead. Even the Bible for Christians, I know that there's a book in Ecclesiastes that says it's better to go to the house of mourning than to the house of feasting. Even Christianity honors the dead, you know. So I hope that when people get to watch this, they will now understand when people say there's an honor that you give to someone that's dead. It's not the time to just be misbehaving and just speaking anyhow.
We have a few comments here. Oluwaseun Olatunde from YouTube says, a fine man, gallant soldier, 3 times head of state and president. I felt it too. Other than that, other painful thing just moved up. So other painful burials were also, they mentioned Idiagbo, they mentioned Abiola, and all of that.
You know, it was known to, although it was now said that the Western media were pushing that, but he was known to be feared by his people as well. And then he died, and then suddenly it's a simple burial as well. I feel that the soldiers needed to do this for.
I really can't remember Idiagbo's burial. I've been really young then.
Even Abiola,
I can't remember.
Just sitting by the TV every time.
You know, I know I watched, but I can't remember feeling anything.
No, sometimes it's what you like. I remember Abacha when he was being brought, and I remember lots of people thought, why would they bring our president like that? You know,
in fact, they didn't use
a coffin. I don't remember Abiola. No, they brought him like that on the.
So I said, I was saying that the soldier salute, President Buhari, late President Buhari, was well deserving of it. I remember that in 2017. The soldiers got their pensions upgraded.
He took care of his people.
Even the Biafran soldiers, he got them, you know, absorbed into and their pensions all over the years accumulated. He did that, and you know, we don't talk enough about what he tried to do. That's why I said that he did what he tried to do. Is what we like to see. I remember that my father-in-law was alive at the time, being a former soldier. He became a lover of President Buhari because of that. Prior to that, looking at when he retired, what he got was pittance. But when President Buhari did that, he felt proud that, yes, I served. We went to war. He started to talk more, and he used to call my son Major, because he started to relive the memories, whereas most of them retire with regret of how the country treated them. I hope that will be done for the police officers as well, because the videos going around is not encouraging. Another outstanding thing was the way Yusuf Buhari comported himself at that burial.
As a son?
As a son, yeah. So he, just as expected, was the first to lay his father to earth. And then the crowd of lovers that President Buhari had wanted to do that. I watched him. I saw the way one suits man, I believe that the SSS guy pulled him up while he was using the hand, because they will kick around after the mat is placed on the planks, the sticks, kick earth around the place, so it's actually, my father used to call it a house. And so when I saw my father's grave, I used to say, so this is the duplex my father describes, because you're going to be laid there to rest. So the big bed, everything, that's the end of it. So I saw, and they were doing that. They were like, you creating. He was doing it with his hands. They were passing him earth with his hands. He was doing it, and then somebody pulls him up, trying to remember his status. How now? The boy pushed himself. There's so many voices. He still found his way back. Him struggling around the grave. Can I just observe this?
He's actually showing.
But he is his father, Nana. How do you Bible say
his father? He's
a statesman. Was a state's burial, and all of those observations that they needed to do. But he found his way. Eventually, with grief and all of that, how many shovel you won't use? He still did struggle
show his own,
to observe
do his own part.
That for me, was outstanding.
We have a few more comments. Hafsa says, "Stop when I saw it touched me to jokes apart, if not for anything, for the fact that all the battalions in Nigeria and abroad couldn't stop death from reaching him. Who can be me when the time reach?" Time Media says, "The Katsina state governor captured my feelings yesterday as I saw him weeping. He's a genuine lover of Buhari. That was my feelings yesterday. May Baba Buhari continue to rest in power." Talk where they say maybe you should take the rest of the week to recover from your emotions. Moses says, I know. Moses says, that's why acquiring land, real estate is vanity or vanity. Everyone will get,
where would they put you?
Get 6 feet cremation. I know it's just, yes. But Soya Olajumoke says, I felt it real time. Life is nothing but vanity. Fadiki Futa says, the crowd and supporters chanting Sai Baba as his casket was lowered, reflecting deep respect, particularly from the northern region. Hafsa says, we're just strangers in this world. Let's just take what we need to be and content. Nothing is worth taking by force.
Did any of you remember
other humans down?
Did any of you remember that we used to call him Boo Boo?
Yeah.
No, somebody did. Somebody called Boo Boo.
There was Boo Boo, there was Sai Baba, but the Sai Baba
somebody still called it. Boo Boo. No, it was my sister-in-law. She calls it Boo Boo.
Please let me take this one. It's very important. Andrew in Streetham says, in ancient Christianity, we buried the dead the next day, or that very day. Many scriptures support that. Even Jesus, when he died on the cross, was buried that day.
Yes.
The Jews today do the same. Because at what point
is our own culture?
No. It's African culture. Is different too. Our culture did not know of ice.
Of ice, how do you
different.
They will bury and then do party after.
So party
we used to bury immediately.
Are you sure?
Even at the back of the house, look at most of the ancient graves. They're always close to the family houses. Yeah. It was mostly at the back.
Some buried in their compound.
So they will not do party. But you must do party.
Embalmment, okay.
It's science. It's still science.
No, I think
we had a bit of it.
Yes.
But I am, Egypt used to do major embalmment. But I feel that, we've, from everything that we've said, the lessons must be learned. When people die, it is a moment to confront that we are humans. Your mortality faces you. And it should humble you into good character. It should humble you into kindness. It should humble you into compassion. And we are hoping that this moment humbles Nigerians generally and into service. Our leaders to serve with good character, with compassion, and with kindness. That's all we can take on this segment of the show. When we return, we continue with other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.